Okay, so this series has been a long time coming. First off, just like opening the box. The box had previously been opened just to check the product was the correct one. So yeah, just opening the box up to reveal what is now the Coke truck. Although this was all recorded beforehand, so at the time it was just the kit. The box was quite tightly packed, so it was a bit of a task to get it out the packaging, but over the years of making the truck and maintaining it, it has more than proved to have been worth it, that initial struggle. And just discarding of the box there to reveal the real packaging that we're all interested in here, and that is the MFU box on the top with the Night Hauler Tamiya kit underneath. That's enough of that though. Let's rip off the bubble wrap and get into the box. Okay, so that's the Night Hauler kit in the box. So just lifting the lid off there now to reveal all the good contents inside. So in there, the box is a bit hot. The box is a bit heavy on the one side due to all the bolts and everything being in that one area. With all the bodywork and everything else down the other half of the box. I'm sure you're all familiar with the layout of the Tamiya boxes. So there we have the main body of the cab. As you can see, the holes on the back, they will later be filled and painted over. Just a little spoiler there. Yeah, the kit I did customise to some extent, as I didn't really want to be running a standard Night Hauler kit. Just saw the wheels there. So one of the beauties of these kits is that you can just customise pretty much whatever you want. Just running through the bodywork here, so there you got the chrome sections which form the lower half of the body, like the fuel tanks and the grille, like the finishing trim pieces really. Here now we have the interior, all in its raw plastic form. Does all get painted. That's the roof off the cab, and yeah, just everything gets painted. Standard Tamiya colour is just like white. Well, white and black really. Some of the truck pieces white, like bodywork is usually white. It's just easier for painting with it starting from that colour. Then you've got the black pieces like these here, which usually form things like fuel tanks, except on the American ones where they're then chrome. And just various pieces, usually the bolt to the chassis. Yeah, the instruction manual there, sticker sheet. That sticker sheet I don't think I actually touched at any point in the build, as all the stickers were custom done. Just a little aerial there coming out, which again doesn't get used as I'm using a 2.4 gigahertz setup. If you want tips or anything, we're talking through benefits and drawbacks of a 2.4 gigahertz system over the old 40 megahertz systems. I'm more than happy to do a video on that. Just comment in the video description if you're interested in that sort of thing. Just putting the bodywork back in the box there, keep the table tidy. Before we get into this box of goodies, which as you can see has the tyres down the bottom, and the rest of the box is bolts and axle pieces and various bits of metal fixtures. The box is taped down both sides, so the lid can't then just fall off. So getting into the box, I mean, it does look relatively empty, but it really isn't. There's a whole lot in there. So there we have full set of tyres that covers the single front steer axle, where you have one wheel on each side, and the two rear axles that have dualies. So there's like 2 wheels on each section, with a total of 8 tyres across 2 axles. Here we have a bag that contains gearbox parts. So in there you've got the end plates that things bolt onto. You've then also got shafts and various springs and bearing fixtures that will form the gearbox. There is also in there separately a plastic bag, well, a bag that contains plastic gears. There is some debate over using plastic or spending the extra and going for metal gears to go in the gearbox. Now personally, I don't really see the argument for metal over the plastic unless you're going for a heavy duty setup. So every kit comes with a thread lock like that. Yeah, going back to the gearbox though, I really don't see the benefit of upgrading to the metal gears. I mean, the plastic ones, I've used them in all of my kits. They're more than strong enough for your general day-to-day use. I mean, yes, if you're going to run a low-loader trailer and put people on the back of it, then you are going to run the risk of breaking the gearbox. But I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, how many people are actually going to run the truck specifically for having people on the back of it? And even then, it depends on the weight. I mean, if you're running like a toddler or something on the back, if it's just occasional, you'll get away with plastic gears. Yeah, just running through the box, got some more parts. Prop shafts, got the motor that we've seen before. Differential bags. The diffs are all plastic. Sorry, metal. I have the plastic case, and then all the inside of the diffs is metal, which is probably the best way to go. I mean, Tamiya do offer that standard with all the trucks, so you don't really need to do any hop-up parts for that. I mean, if you look on the internet, there is a wide range of hop parts. You can basically buy custom parts for every part of a truck. Again, I don't really see the argument for a lot of this. I mean, you don't really need to spend £300 or however much it is on custom differentials that lock and do all this other fancy stuff. I mean, the standard ones are more than enough in a 6x4 setup. Yeah, just always check underneath the box as well. As you can see here, there is more bodywork and such things, speaker box there, that hide underneath. So yeah, always check that. and that's most of the box gone through. So just go into this last box on the end here now, which contains various other plastic sheets with body pieces and general things like that on it. Lifting the lid off there, you can see the box is more full than the last one. Right on top there, you can see the plastic gears for the gearbox. Yeah, as I say, they are more than strong enough for most purposes. You can run those in trucks for 15, 20 years quite easily without breaking a single tooth on them. So again, don't really see the argument for upgrading to metal. It's just a waste of money really, I think. Yeah, just going through the box there, just showing all the different pieces. Those there are metal plates for the side of the chassis that you then mount the fuel tanks and things to. And then there we just got the decorative finishing touches of the light covers, the plastic covers. Just putting everything back in the box there, just for safekeeping, and pack the box back up and move on to the next box. So now we're on to the trailer that will soon become the iconic Coca Cola trailer. You haven't all seen the finished product now, so that is really the ultimate spoiler of what it looks like. But I think it's just nice to show the whole process that was that happened during the making and what led to ultimately having the truck. My camera presence was a little poor at the time. I mean, this was the first video where I was in front of the camera. So throughout this series, you do need to just bear with me on that. As you can see here, I went for the 3-axle reefer trailer. The trailer was kept pretty standard, especially compared to the truck. However, there is always a however with me. So, however, there was some modifications done to the trailer during the build process, and even after the build process, as it does now have a lift axle, a tag lift axle at the front, which is also coupled with the rear steer at the back. The kit does come with the rear steer axle. You just need to choose your method for whether you're just going to have a servo to lock it in place for reversing, or whether you're going to have this servo operated for the steering. I went for the option of just locking the axle. So it created a little bracket that was put onto the track rod, and then from that just had a servo where the arm just dropped in, and given there's not really much force on the axle, it is more than enough really to hold the axle straight while doing a reversing manoeuvre. The lift axle wasn't done in the initial build, so you may not see that happen on here. However, it is relatively simple to get that working depending on how you do it. I went for a process of actually taking the suspension arms off, so the metal leaf springs, I took those off, as most of the time I run with the axle up, and it's the easiest method is to take the springs off, so then you can quite easily just bolt a servo to the chassis and lift it up without any real impedance or anything from the axle. However, in doing this, you do weaken the axle, and it does have quite a bit more movement in it. So when the axle's down, if it's completely relaxed, the axle can just freely move forwards and backwards and a little bit to the sides, as it is then only held with the plastic arms. Ideally, what you want to do is modify the springs or cut them in half or something, so then you can allow for the spring to move. Yeah, just go through the boxes again here. It's just all the standard various parts. The larger box does have a lot of the bodywork in, with the smaller box then containing the bolts and wheels and such things. Yeah, there is also loose parts in the main box, which we'll go through once this box is emptied. Yeah, just various pieces there, just everything you need really, and light covers. It's quite similar to the truck ones really. And then in the bottom you've got the instruction manual and sticker sheet. Again, I didn't touch that sticker sheet at all in the process, as I was having Coca Cola custom stickers. So yeah, the way the Coke ones are, it does basically mean you're not going to use any of the standard stickers. Yeah, just putting everything back in the box again there, just keep it all neat and tidy. So in the main box at the bottom we do have all the sheets for the body of the trailer. So you've got the floor, you've got the sides, you've got the rear doors and everything else. You've also got the chassis rails and all the other railings for the main bit of the bodywork. Well, the container of the trailer, as you may want to call it.